So the Supreme Court rejected a case on civil asset forfeiture, but in a pretty shocking move, Clarence Thomas, who of course is an ultra-conservative justice, released a statement on this, and he said the following. This system, where police can seize property with limited judicial oversight and retain it for their own use, has led to egregious and well-chronicled abuses. I am skeptical that this historical practice is capable of sustaining, as a constitutional matter, the contours of modern practice. These forfeiture operations frequently target the poor and other groups least able to defend their interests in forfeiture proceedings. Perversely, these same groups are often the most burdened by forfeiture. They are more likely to use cash than alternative forms of payment like credit cards, which may be less susceptible to forfeiture, and they are more likely to suffer in their daily lives while they litigate for the return of a critical item of property, such as a car or a home. So the most conservative justice on the court is saying, yeah, civil asset forfeiture is bullshit. And though they rejected this case on civil asset forfeiture, perhaps they will take a different case down the road. And if they do, you'll see all the liberal justices against civil asset forfeiture, and perhaps even Clarence Thomas against civil asset forfeiture, if this is any indication, which it clearly is. And we're really having a conversation about maybe moving away and having it struck down on constitutional grounds. Because it's just, guys, I mean, think about how crazy this is. So a police officer can just take your shit and claim, I think it was going to be imminently used for some sort of drug purchase or something. So therefore, I have the right to take it. And now they flip the burden of proof and it's on you. And you need to prove that that stuff, in fact, is yours, and it wasn't going to be used for a crime, and sometimes the process that's set up to do that doesn't exist, or it's really complicated, or it's really expensive, so people don't have the time, or the money, or, you know, the lawyers, or whatever, to go through the process in order to try to get their stuff back, so they just have to give it up. And the argument they make is, listen to this, how fucking cynical is this? They go, no, but you haven't been officially charged criminally. This is just, basically a civil thing. So since it's a civil procedure, that's why they're able to flip the burden of proof and say, we get to just take your shit and you have really no reasonable recourse here. So what you've done is you've just allowed police officers to legally rob people. That's what you've done. That's fucking mental, man. And there are horror stories. You know, somebody travels, hey, they carry a lot of money. They have $2,000. Whatever. They're going to buy a used car. Something. Pulled over. Mine. Give me that. And I'm impounding your car, your old car while we're at it. Hey, you can't, man. Like, this is nuts. You have allowed police to become their own thing above the law where they can legally rob people. And you know it's bad when even Clarence Thomas, who has reliably been on the wrong side of virtually every single issue, is like, that's some fucked up shit. How much money every year is stolen, because that's what it is, through civil asset forfeiture? $5 billion a year. $5 billion a year is stolen from people in civil asset forfeiture. Don't you love how they spruce it up by giving it a clean name? Like civil asset forfeiture. It sounds so high-minded and proper and just and right. No, it's just, they should just call it legalized robbery by cop. What happened? Oh, legalized robbery by cop. $5 billion a year. And by the way, oftentimes they use those funds for themselves. We've covered stories of they put a little bar in their police department and bought an espresso machine and shit. And they're like, yeah, we did this with the civil asset forfeiture funds. Not only should this be illegal, and it is unconstitutional, I think, but you should also, I would prosecute the shit out of these people, man. I mean, this is insane. Just because you have a badge and a uniform doesn't make you, by definition, better and doesn't allow you to commit crimes and say, it's okay, because when I do it, it's not a crime. That was the Nixon defense as president. When the president does it, it's not a crime. Yeah, it is, bitch. Yeah, it is. So just because you have a badge when you do it, that doesn't make it okay. And we need to send that message loud and clear. I hope the Supreme Court does hear a case on civil asset forfeiture, and I hope they strike down civil asset forfeiture unanimously, because it's insane that we have legalized robbery by cop in the year 2017.